Hey guys, and welcome along to my video series, Things I Learned When I Quit Drinking. So today I'm going to talk to you about something that was really important for me, which is the high isn't worth the low when it comes to drinking. I remember learning this a wee while back now on a course, and a guy who was an alcohol expert came to talk to us about drinking. And I remember he drew this graph on a board. And the graph kind of went like this, like you get a little high, and then the line just went down, 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 and basically indicating that the high is quite short and the low is really low, essentially. So when I first learned this, I just thought, that's not true. I was still drinking at the time, and I actually just didn't believe it because I was thinking, I actually enjoy the whole night when I'm out drinking. What's this? Surely the highs, at least equal to the low, or maybe even, more than the low. But actually, when I thought about it 2 or 3 years later, I realized that the guy was right. And what I did was I just reflected like on a night that I'd had recently, a night of drinking. I'd been out, and like many nights out, it started off really good fun. So I was in the pub with some friends, chat was flowing, good tunes on, and it was a really good evening, for the first 2 or 3 hours maybe. I was actually just sipping half pints of shandy and planning to go home at like 10 o'clock. I had a friend staying with me, and it was all going, pretty smoothly, and we were all having a really nice time. Then an old friend appeared at the table with shot glasses of Sambuca, something I actually hate as well. But yeah, after a little bit of persuasion, of course, I knocked back a shot. Didn't want to let anyone down, and he bought, one for me. And as soon as that went down, somebody else went and got another tray of Sambucas. And as soon as the second one went down, that was me. I had almost this insatiable thirst for more drink. So that after that, I was just back and forth in the bar, getting more and more drinks. I was on the, proper pints, and yeah, buying rounds for people. And I just got this total excitement on. And towards the end of the evening in the pub, I was just speaking complete nonsense to people. I wasn't even particularly coherent. Then someone suggested we go back to one of our mates' flats, continue on the party. So we went back to his place, and again, it was just nonsense chat. He started delivering this poetry that he'd written. I don't even really remember it very clearly, but I was like, "Oh, this is absolutely amazing, mate! You're a genius." And everybody else was saying that sort of thing as well. I was kind of stumbling about in his house, just helping myself to Pernod, another drink that I really don't like. And the night just rumbled on, and it wasn't actually particularly enjoyable. At one point, I stumbled into my friend's living room and found another mate lying on the floor with all these house rabbits running around. So it was one of these ridiculous nights. And it went on and on. Me and another mate went back to his place and drank a bit more. By then, it was like 4 or 5 in the morning. No idea what we were saying. We had some music on and just havering complete nonsense. And then 2 or 3 hours later, I'd passed out for a very short time, came to, and I phoned my best friend who was staying with me, who I hadn't even made it back to see the night before, and he had no idea where I was. Phoned him, and he came and picked me up maybe about 9 o'clock on Sunday morning. And I felt absolutely horrendous the rest of that day. Banging headaches, nausea, horrible sinking feeling, embarrassment thinking about what I'd been saying and doing, and it was just awful. And I actually felt terrible, I would say, until about Wednesday or Thursday into the next week. And I was like, okay, this is actually this type of night is quite reflective of many nights that I've had. Started off really good fun, and within 2 or 3 hours, just derailed in some way. So, yeah, really, the high is not worth the low. So, how can you apply this yourself when you're trying to quit drinking? Well, a really simple thing to do is just draw out that graph. And honestly, it's really powerful just seeing this line go up a little bit and then plummet down, 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 very, very far down. So just that alone can actually be quite powerful. And another thing to do is just honestly reflect on a night of drinking you've had in the last month or two. And just note down from the beginning of the night until the end, and then into the hangover, and then even post hangover, writing down honestly how you felt during those different sections of the night and the next day and so on, things that you maybe did, and just reflect really honestly. If you think, once you've done that exercise, if the high of alcohol was really worth the low. Because for me, the low could last days and days, not even just a few hours hangover. So I think that's just a really important thing to remember when you're thinking about picking up a drink again. So thanks very much for listening. And if you like my video, please do remember to give it a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, and please do share it with anybody else that you think might be interested in this content. Thanks very much, and I'll see you on the next video.